Yo. What's good, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope you're all well. Hope you had a good weekend. Apologies for the late arrival, departure, whatever we're calling this. Morning meetings were aplenty and just would not stop. So, I am here, finally. Let's see who's here with me. Let's see. Saf, you're here. Welcome in first. Do it. Martin, you're here. Welcome in. How was your weekend? How's D&D treating you? Saf says, I finished a game jam this week, but it wasn't very active and didn't have much time to chat with any of the people that I worked with on the team. It's a global game jam. Nice, Saf. Good that you're getting out there. Game of perfection. Really? Hi, Heidi. This is just some really weird, random, I don't know, kind of cheesy, acidy something. We'll look at it together. Liv is here. What's up, Cardia? How you doing? Saf thinks that game jams are a great way to dip into the game development world because you see how a team works and what the expectations, what people want in their projects. Yeah, absolutely. Welcome in, Paul. Tuning in from cloudy Maryland. It is cloudy. It's like a bright cloudy day here in Portland. Bright gray. No fresh rainfall for the past, hour, which is kind of nice. Haha, French press coffee for Heidi. Nice, nice. Paul is sipping on his French press of the day. D&D is super fun. Nice. Good to hear it. Good to hear it, Martin. What's up, Javar? Yeah, I know. I'm a little late. Too many meetings this morning. Got a lot of stuff going on, you guys. There's 60-some days until the big trade shows of the year, or at least the season starting off, and lots of stuff to get done before we intro version 2 of the software and unveil some new web stuff. And, busy, 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 busy. Hey, Paul, congratulations. Celebrating his youngest kid's 21st birthday. For the record, Pear Sangria. It's her first legal booze. Nice. Off the beaten path. Your nerves are all flipping out from the French press, I'm assuming. Did I check out the VCV rat game I posted, or you posted in the Discord? No, I have not yet, Javar, but let's do that. I saw it there. I love this Judge Judy from cardio this morning. Like meetings are dragging. She's like, come on, let's get this done. Freaking Judge Judy, man. How much did she make last year? Goodness. That's awesome. So you're saving the world through the power of VCV. There are others too. If you are a UVI user, there are little mini games that you can play. If you are like inside of Falcon and inside of their UVI player, there's also, if you're a fan of Panic software, they have actually introduced, it's been a minute now, but they're friends, so I love talking about it. They introduced a crank game handheld hardware game device that has a whole bunch of really awesome classic Game Boy type graphics. Really really cool stuff. Great sound. Um, yeah, they're here in Portland. They're freaking rad. I love it when there's crossover with the game stuff. There's been stuff that runs inside a reactor as well that people have made. It's fun. I love it. I love it. In UVI, I think you can play like Space Invaders too, which is pretty badass. Happy birthday, Spawn of Sunny Maryland. That's hilarious, Heidi. That's hilarious. Awesome. Yeah, no, I should probably check this out. Multi-effects, new multi-effects module. Oh. Oh. Also, Heidi's hitting the symphony again tonight. Wow. Beethoven tonight. All right. All right, so I'm not sure what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna make some drones because there's got to be some drones made soon. We're gonna drop a new collection of lo-fi tracks, but I'm not sure. I feel a little scattered right now after the back-to-back meetings and whatnot, and just prioritizing deadlines in my head now. So maybe we'll just make some sounds. For those who are wondering what this weird mashup is, let's back up through this. First, there's this beat. So this is Instant Acid. You can grab this off of the Reaktor user library, and when you open it up, it'll actually sound like this. But if you want it to sound like this, Replica and Portal. Those are your friends. And then there's this little guy, which actually just sounds like this, which is just Euclidean melody. Also, Euclidean melodies, also available on the Reaktor user library. And then there's these little cups, which actually sound like this. And this is coming out of an ensemble called Scuzzle, I think. I think this is Scuzzle. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's make some stuff. Air Windows module. Is this the new multi-effect that you playing with? Place, brightness, detail, bigness, dry, wet. Demand distortion. Mm-hmm. All right, let's make some something deep. Something deep. Let's open up a synth. And then But you know what else we could do? We could play with Falcon. I was just talking about UVI. I need to learn Falcon. Let's do that. Save this really quick. And it's gonna be gonna work on some drones. And we'll just say we'll give this a new directory. Drones volume 2. And maybe we'll just call this one day 1. Give this a little tag. And what did I say? We're going to use some Falcon. Let's do that. That's UV. Okay. It's going to take me a minute to get fully acclimated to the Falcon way of living. So bear with me as I hunt and peck for things from time to time. I have used Falcon in the past, but it's been a really long while. And I want to say it was still version 1, 2. So I'm looking forward to some surprises. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Yeah, UVI Falcon. Yes, Falcon. So Falcon is it's kind of a hybrid workstation. So you know that I love Alchemy and that I love Absinthe, right? These tools that you can kind of commingle synthesis and sampling in one environment to kind of push limits. So that's what Falcon does. It allows you some oscillators that can hold samples or traditional waveforms, and then mess with it in a variety of ways. It's a bit more flexible in some ways than Kontakt, a little more restrictive than others in Kontakt, but they're starting to introduce some fairly modern tools in it. I think that the team, I mean, not to like pit one against the other, but I feel like they're a bit smaller, a bit more nimble, a bit more understanding of what their user base really wants, maybe. All right, so it's super fun. I hope to share even more UVI stuff with you guys in the near. Let's start with this. Let's look up something, or maybe we should start with just some simple sounds, right? Like let's find kalimba, maybe. Kalimba. Oh, these are presets. Oh, I guess we could see what they've done to transform some kalimbas. Oh, I need to bring in the other the kalimba that picked up for Christmas this year. They're a fan of their arts. All right, let's get out of that and let's make something new from scratch. How do I do that? Here. The goal is not to delete the track that you have loaded, but instead delete the sound inside of the tool you're using. Right, Chris? All right, let's find my Finder and let's pull up some sounds here. Oh, these are calves. I wonder if I can load a calf. Let's see. Let's just see if if I can. I'm not sure if it does. I can load CAF files in here? Falcon, I love you even more all of a sudden. This is great. Okay. All right, let's take this. Auto playing now? Is that what? All right, so it feels like we've got some extra stuff. Let's go to. All right, so let's get in. Let's go. Sample. Okay, so the other one was on slice. Let's go granular. Go. I will figure all of this out. Let's also, how can we, it's a big size. Hey, that's probably a little easier. All right, let's bring up this start. All right, let's find our end point. That over. Let's go maybe forward and backward. And let's bring our, let's see here, this is great. I kind of like this down here. Let's move this attack out just a little bit. This is lovely. Like this. All right, let's get into some effects. Or actually, let's work on the delivery first. Let's see if we can maybe some kind of a sequencer to make this a little bit more interesting, like maybe some kind of random Euclidean. Or actually, okay, this is going to be a very fun tool. Void. This is awesome. Give it a tiny bit of gravity. See if they fall down. Love it. Less attraction. Spread these guys out a bit. These are fun. All right, let's get back to our effects here. Let's do a little delay, maybe a diffuse delay, a little ambient something. Yo, Nano's here. What's up, Nano? Doing? This is nice. Ben, I'll do you some feedback. Okay, let me think about this. Got drones, we've got textures, got atmosphere. Just thinking that Falcon might actually help me develop a new workflow here. This is a great sound. Just a tiny little bit. So now if we go and let's drop another sound in here. Or maybe what we can, let's see here. There we go. Set this to Omni so we can try both channels at once. And this guy, let's put an oscillator. So it's this one. Oh, pretty heavy sub. There we go. All right, let's give this, oh, this has got double thermal sitting on it. Get this set up all nice and proper over here. Eye on our meter. Let's add in a little bit of saturation here. And in front of that, I'm going to add an overdrive as well. Help us keep all of this pretty audible. Feels like our sub is definitely the highest peak we've got here. I have to put an E above all of that. Take down these peaks. It's not that we don't want to hear these peaks, it's that we want to be able to hear the other things in the mix as well. I'm going to take a little bit out of 500 here. Now when we boost the entirety of this sound, it's going to be kind of rebalanced. We'll be able to hear some of this low mid tonal range stuff a little bit easier than we were. We'll still have some sub presence. And I tapped it down a little bit. I really like it up here too. Okay, so we'll put some movement on this guy, on this layer. Let's see action here at the bottom of this. All right, let's take just a little bit of this texture back out here. And diffuse that a bit more. Yeah, that's pretty dope right there. All right, let's get the time up on this. Okay, this is nice. So I'm thinking that Falcon might be able to help me establish a new workflow here, right? I'm just going to talk this out. We've got a few different kinds of beds. There's drones, and typically those are kind of bass oriented, like lower tone sounds. But there are high drones and piercing drones and stuff nowadays too. There's also atmospheres, and then there's also textures, and if you design them all kind of properly, you can use them in conjunction with each other, or like commingle them to create entire soundscapes of just them, right? And kind of glue them together with reverb or whatever. It makes these very like deep dimensional environments that you can put into a scene. Anyway, I'm thinking that I might be able to, in Falcon, craft the entire soundscapes easily enough and then just bounce the individual layers, and then start swapping out what's in the oscillators in each of those layers to create new variations. Okay, okay. I'm thinking I can do this. It's gonna take me a minute to get acclimated to the new environment. I think it's absolutely. All right, I think I have a new mission. Yo, CG Solarized, welcome in. We're gonna dip over to the Discord just briefly and see what Ben has posted. Also, Don't forget, it got a couple quick reminders. One, if you're subbed currently to the Twitch, you get free sound pack every month, right? There's a couple of dialogue sound packs up in the subscriber rewards. I have still not gotten this month's posted after being out with COVID, so still trying to catch up there. But do grab those if you have not already. The other thing is the community challenges are now an ongoing thing. You can just jump into image prompts at any point in time and grab an image that strikes your fancy, download it, make whatever you're inspired to make, whether it's a sound or a beat or a song or whatever, and then turn around and upload the image and whatever you made to community uploads right here. Check it out on stream together. Give you props, and if other people are vibing with it, they can grab it and twist it up into something new. It's an awesome little kind of share inspiration, perhaps even collab, pass the mic kind of thing. There's some really interesting stuff in here, though. What the hell is this even? It's awesome. Anyway, so those things. Let's see what Ben has been working on. Oh, and it looks like Shumi tossed something up as well. I don't know if you're here, Shumi. Oh, this is actually a couple days ago. Well, if Shumi comes through, we can listen. What are we doing here? This is two different things. Ancient offerings. Okay. Let's see what this is about. Oh, right. Let me download. All right. Got that one. Let me just download the other one. Well. And we'll listen to both these then. Okay, so what are we checking out here? These. What have you been working on? Solarized, you could drop something if you like. We won't be doing any other feedback just because time. I started late with today's stream. We just had a bunch of extra team meetings this morning. Quick quiz, quick poll. If I was to set up the alternate streams, the audio design desk streams on the same days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, how many of you would tune in for later streams? I'm thinking like maybe 2 to 4 Pacific. So we're talking evening time for you East Coasters, really early morn on the other side of the world. Okay, so just general feedback on both, and dubstep one is finished. Okay, checking. This one is Ancient Offerings.
In your bag and smoke it. Smoke it. in your bag and smoke it. Smoke it.
Yeah, dude, I like this. It's cool. It's got some really interesting things happen. I like the minimal um palette. I like the kind of weird ambient soup you cooked up for the intro. I think the low frequencies are hurting you in this one where they are right now. So I'd roll up the sub frequency cutoff to be around 45 hertz, but with a really gentle 12 dB per octave curve. I'd take the sub level down 5 dB after that. It's gonna bump up in presence. As soon as you make that cut, it's gonna feel like it's a bit more forward and aggressive. So you want to take that down about 5 dB after the change. And then from there, I think you kind of have to play with shelves to kind of tame the peaks between 50 and 150 across the different characters in play. 248, that Kodo or whatever the little light pluck is there, it'd be so cool if at just one point it just got up close enough to tickle the ears and then fade away. Or be pulled away, maybe, rather. That'd be actually kind of cool. Like the bass just comes up and anyway, watch the low freaks on all the other players in the mix because there are points where the sub frequencies are by far the loudest peaks, but you can feel it kind of squishing all of the mid range content in the mix at that point. So just watch that because it's triggering your compression and whatnot and kind of obfuscating the rest of the stuff. You might want to take a look at how that's actually happening. And I love the put that in your pipe and smoke it. Great sample stuff. See what other people are saying. DMT in Egypt. Boom. Yeah, Saf, right? What a good sound palette, right? Lots of different structure and stuff. Absolutely. Heidi is loving this one. Solarize, don't even sweat it. Everything is welcome here, regardless of where you are in your adventure timeline. Or welcome here. We'll help you just the same. But this is good. This is good. And to be fair, Ben's been doing this a minute, and we have a history. So I think that's what I got for you on this one. The other thing that I have is more just about like harmonic finishing and saturation. It does kind of feel like there is a little bit of bloat in the mid lows and some of these sounds. If you were to carve some of those frequencies out to make them a bit more nimble delivery wise, you could then add a little edge and bolster again with some saturation on the back end to kind of forward. I think it would feel better for the mix. You would have a little bit less competition between like 60 and 300. Let's listen to the next one. And that was the one that was basically, this one will give attention to the creative side here. just feels good. Yeah, this is good, dude. I can hear it's still a whip, so I won't beat it to death. But the kick in the beginning, I felt like it was a little lacking. In the full mix, it felt fine. So maybe just whatever processing wasn't being applied in the beginning, just kind of keep it there. The vocals, I think you can bring up to the top of the mix and then kind of push them back rather than leave them withdrawn. It kind of felt like everything but the kick and the bass um weren't being heard as they will be. So, um, but as far as like the structure and the palette and everything, it's all super nice. The bass feels really satisfying. So I'm not sure if like really anything needs to be done to it except for maybe just variety, like variation in how it's being delivered. You know, just a couple of random stutters here and there. Maybe like a tiny little reversal here and there. Doesn't have to get more complex arrangement wise, but just kind of massage what you've already got laid out. I think the ARP at 248, it's pretty nice and it's kind of fleeting. It'd be cool if you dragged it across the stereo spectrum, got a little bit more attention. The stutter formant guy that repeats around 3 minutes, I'd probably like maybe play with detuning, voicing, and some comb filter. I think you could get some really, really awesome stuff. And then just little sprays of delay and verb on that to like kind of show off the stuff that comes out of that play. 349. I felt like there was definitely room for another transition effect at the point of transition, but I also felt like just in that section that there could be just some general ear candy and transition effects would probably play well in that space in general. That's it. I think that's it. Oh, and on the vocals, it would be cool to hear like some degradation play, right? Like have it kind of break apart at a couple of different points. I think it might be kind of a cool thing to play off of, like one of the transitions, right? Kind of have it kind of build up into this crush or something on the vocals. I don't know, something to consider. All right, let's see what people in the chat are saying about this. Besides, it makes them want to dance. Solar Ice says, I don't know what it would be called, but I love the high pitched buzzing that contrasts the bass. Lots of artists do that. Yeah, just the top end grit from the sawtooth. Absolutely. Paul says, it's like this track is the dish Nano serves to customers. And last track, the last track, the mess back to the kitchen. I've lost it. Heidi needed this. DJ Empirical's here. How you doing, homie? How's everything in your world? How's podcast land? Are you busier than you can handle? I'm going to copy this over as part of a thread for you, Ben, because I wrote a lot. Hope it vibes with you. Make it even better. Better. All right, Soul, you're up. Oh yeah, you are welcome, sir. Hope it all makes sense to you. Hope you're doing well over there, by the way. You good? Soul, you're here. Great. Steven saying, podcast land is a little sparse. Lost a gig. They crunched numbers, and I didn't make sense anymore. Oh. AI is coming for your job. No. It's all right. It's all right. You'll get another one. Have faith. But I've been working on more tunes. Maybe I'll throw on the mix here. Yeah, please. Yeah. We would do more feedback for that. All right. This one's for Soul. This one's called Absolute. We may not even get to production today after starting so late. Maybe we'll do a little late night stream tonight or something. Oh, and Vox is here too. Alright, screw the production. We're gonna do feedback for the rest of this. Oh, that's grimy. All right. All right. This is good. We've got a really nice palette. It's a really solid concept. Definitely worth finishing. A couple of things. Most of this is EQ related, and all of it will kind of help you tighten stuff up and help define everything in the mix a bit without having to do a whole bunch of processing or anything. So first and foremost, more control over what frequencies are allowed to be where in your mix. So for instance, having a bass that's really wide feels great and it's awesome, but you need to kind of pay attention to how much of the sub frequencies, the lowest frequencies, are carrying out into the sides of the spectrum. And there's various reasons for this. But typically, you want to keep that towards the center of your mix because it's going to affect the delivery of all of the other sounds in the mix. So, the more separation you can create between that specific type of element and everything else in the mix, the better everything will be. You'll hear the bass clear, you'll hear the other stuff clear, whatnot. So, how do you get it wide and stable? And that's just a matter of you could use mid-side EQ, for instance, which allows you to EQ your sound in a bifurcated fashion. It allows you to say, okay, in the sides, I want to affect these frequencies. And in the mid channel, in the middle of the mix, I want to affect these frequencies. So what you could do is roll out a fair bit of the higher content stuff and leave that in the center channel, in the mid. And then on the sides, you can roll up that low end and keep all the presence and the mid-range stuff, right? So that way now when it plays, it just fires right out the center of the cone, right? The speaker, and everything else kind of wraps around it. In fact, the shape of the speaker cone really is very indicative of what you really want to do with your sound, right? You want to keep that stuff that's kind of the like the mono channel type stuff, right? The vocals, the bass, that type of thing, just right there. Everything else can kind of be around it, and the further out to the side it is, the higher in frequency it can probably be to help maintain that kind of structure and stability for the okay, the next thing is just moving the sub cutoff up to around 50 hertz or so. And right now it feels like it's probably down around 30 hertz, but it doesn't need to be for this type of music, right? Where we don't have to like rattle any windows or change any heartbeats or anything like that. So I would do that. I would roll it up and I would also soften the dB per octave curve. Right now it feels like it's probably 24 dB per octave or higher, which means it's going to kind of push the phase alignments of some things. So here's what I would do. I'd take it down to like a 12 dB per octave curve and just tuck that in around 50 hertz. And that would look like this. And right now it kind of sounds to me like it might be closer to something like this, which looks very similar. And this might sound kind of nitpicky, but there is a pretty decent difference between these two. And if you feel like you can get away with it and it's not affecting your sound to any detriment, then try getting even more frequencies out of there. Because the more that you can shave in that space, the better the rest of everything else is going to sound. Um, the bass synth itself, it sounds like it has a little click in it that comes through from time to time. So if you increase the attack and the release just ever so slightly, like maybe 5 milliseconds each or so, you should be able to get rid of that click. I love the tempo shift in there, and that bass at 220 or whatever is just grimy as all heck, so that's awesome. Watch frequencies in the reverb channel. Any time-based effect, especially like that you're going to be applying to bass, do it in a parallel fashion, which means set it up on a different channel, send your sound to it, and then mix that affected version of the sound back into the mix. But always put an EQ after it, like reverb plugin, EQ plugin. And on that EQ plugin, make sure you wrangle the frequencies. And you can get pretty aggressive, like pretty aggressive. You can oftentimes chop out a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like this right here is not like a bad curve to put on for reverb, right? You're going to see plenty of highs coming through still. You roll out a bunch of the problem frequencies, right? And you're attenuating the ones that are like below 300, 250, something like that. And it just helps the rest of your mix stay full. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? Movement. Movement in general. Oh, I will help you. I will help you with the terminology here. Just movement in general, um, which means modulation, change over time. So, um, a few things that are good for creating movement in a mix are volume automation, filter automation. Those are two of the most basic ways to get movement started in a track. And one way that you can start with the volume automation is listen to your track from an emotional impact perspective, not the composition. We're not worried about how the notes are fitting together, okay, or what that yeah, we're not worried about the composition part of it, just the delivery, just the emotional impact that the changes have upon you, right? So if an instrument is stepping into a solo, maybe everything else should kind of come down a little bit, and that one should actually come up a little bit, right? Maybe it moves a little bit more towards center, and the other things start to kind of pull back to the sides just a little bit, right? Tiny little things like that. More dramatic curves, like volume ramps on your transition effects, stuff like that. Filter movement is another easy way to get into the movement of your music. Put a filter on something and then put an LFO on it, on the cutoff of that filter, and make it a slow LFO, not a wah 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 wah. Make it really slow, like every 4 bars or something like that. It's going to complete a cycle, right? And it's just going to be a little bit of modulation, not a deep modulation. Kind of something to give it some movement. And after you get used to making these kinds of assignments, you can make them a bit more tricky over time. But just start incorporating more change over time with some of the parameters of the sounds in your mix. And I think you'll find that the whole thing starts to get a lot more organic feeling and really open up for you. Um, and you don't have that much more to go in this track. Like the track itself is really solid. So these are really like fine tuning kind of maneuvers here. All right, so let's see here. Something good. Welcome in. Happy Monday, dude. All right, so you're saying I'm in the dark completely with all the audio engineering terminology. Been raw dog in production myself for like 4-ish years on and off, so I think I'm definitely going to have to look into all these. Yeah, okay, so um, basically the gist of this is spend more time with the EQ on each sound inside your mix, and don't let out all of the frequencies for each sound. Only one sound in your mix really should have sub frequencies at any one time. And right now there's multiple. And the level of the sub frequencies is a little loud. So they can come down and roll up the low end cut on a whole bunch of these sounds with your EQ. Always use an EQ after reverb. to, again, just kind of wrangle or restrict frequencies that are being allowed through. The more frequencies flying around in the air at the same time, the harder it is to have a clean. That's really what this comes down to. Oh, Kakashi says that is the cleanest description of how to manage panning in a mix. Never thought of it that way. Yeah, there's a few different kind of like mental tricks you can play with yourself, or like little templates you can follow for stuff like that. It keeps it easy. Roll off counter again. This is good. This is good. Everybody likes this, especially the change up. Everybody likes the change up. Oh, that's awesome. I'm just reading your comment here, Kakashi. Central, yo, welcome in. And Solarized, absolutely stick around. Lots of really brilliant minds around here, and we'll help you acclimate to all the terminology and learn all this stuff in a really solid way without all of the kind of attitude that usually comes with it. It's nice. All right, so we got TJ Empirical. This is awesome. Let's see what he's making right now.
Lightning.
Um, that was fun to hear you again. We've been very lacking, but it's good to see you and your little dinosaur. Super wiggly, and this ARP, the wild ARP element that's like bouncing all over the place. It'd be great to hear it a little more prominently, maybe just some saturation on it. Oh, excuse me. And then that snap, it'd also be cool to hear more of that snap because that was super satisfying to my ear. But maybe just like double it and offset it slightly and make it thick. That was really good. Some merits. Gonna have a name of a documentary. Share with us here in a second. Kashi says that was super energetic, but not in a hyped up on Stims way. This was really pleasantly energizing. Yeah. Yeah, it was like nice and smooth and comfy. You know what I mean? Like it felt pretty darn organic. But I really, really enjoyed the wiggly nature of it. All the extra movement added a nice bounce. Yeah, a good cup of coffee kind of vibe. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah. Yeah. Ennio Morricone, the maestro. Word. I'm going to watch that. Foxy. This one's called Going on a Trip. Let's check it. Hmm. Yeah, I really love film music too. You had the coffee. Here comes the whiskey. Here we go.
Me. The summer sun's gone and it's left me wanting, beating myself never felt so lovely. devil could be so lovely.
Here's how you know. Kakashi, you're asking, more saturation of the drums, dear lord. Is there something I'm doing wrong? Or do drums just need to bathe in saturation? I had it pretty cranked. Here's when you know you've got it. The toms go from hitting to ringing. Does anyone else have a really good, like, easy to identify benchmark for when you've reached the right point of saturation? It could also be the type of saturation that you're applying as well. You don't really need more than just a simple overdrive on those. Anything that's more distorted than that is actually going to work against you in regards to getting more body from the drum. You'll get more texture. At first, it'll be like a light surface texture, but then it's going to quickly kind of degrade the sound. So you kind of want to go in the opposite direction. Instead of adding like more destructive, you want to just more harmonically inclined. I think that's the direction you want to go. Eric, let me see. We've got 1, 2, 3. Let me just check my calendar here really quick. We got a late start. Let's see, so we're running over here. Let's go. Yeah, Eric, why don't you put yours in? And then that's it for now. Yeah, haven't seen you a bit. Okay, so let's get to the rest of this. Really dig the vibe of this one, first and foremost. I feel like there's always going to be a scream, but still, I kind of want people to just like throw in a bet, like see how it all pans out in the end, or how many screams, maybe. I don't know. When the vocals went out to the sides, the backing vocals at 226, they're really dominant, so bring those down several dB. Saturate the bass subtly, but you might want to A-B it in regards to whether it's being applied directly or on a parallel channel. I like the tone of the bass. It's just, it kind of disappears in a couple of spots, which is indicative of it just needing more harmonic reinforcement. So again, with the overdrive, probably just something really, really simple that isn't going to change the tone of the bass. But other than that, like, this is great, man. There's just a couple of things that kind of disappear or don't quite stand up at the same level. Try overdrive for both. I think this is the solution. Far Horizon, dude, it's been a minute for you too. Okay, put yours in too. Put yours in too, but nobody else. Yeah, intensity of scream would be good. That would be good. We should have, I want an endless supply of money just for the reason of putting together a really good like interactive stream experience where you could actually see where like the needle is like shaking. Will it get to 10? Will it get to 10? Will it get to 10? Or will it reach 11? Be awesome. Oh, well, hey, yeah, it just flies out. Everybody gather round. No, Voxy, I think this one's good. I think it's good. I really, really dig the vibe of it. Yeah. something good. Let's do this. Respect the gazelle. Thank you so much, homie. 3 months of being the single most influential stream in my music production. Whoa! I've approached composition on a completely different level through your feedback. Well, hey, thanks, homie. Big love, and I'm glad that it vibes and vibes with you and helps you make it better. Something good. Let's do this. Little snowflake looking bitch. Foxy, that's exactly the right attitude with that one. Thanks so much for your time. I'll play around with the saturation some more too. Probably crank it until I hate it and then pull it back to find the right intensity. Yeah. All right, let's do this. I love the name of this one. Little snowflake looking bitch. This art, by the way, is just absolutely incredible. Get it. Get it. Something good. Every single time you drop something in here, I feel like, well, first, every single person with the volume up has a stank face on, whether they can help it or not. And maybe that is creating some embarrassing situations for them where they are right now. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're sitting in a Starbucks right now and they're just like, and people around them are like, what is this guy doing? Just something fun to think about while you're watching all of us, or knowing all of us are listening. Anyway, dude, seriously, like it's just so good. Every single freaking time, it's just so good. The kick is a little thick down low. Don't really need the sub presence in it. Solve that with the shelf. Roll up the cutoff a little bit too. And the instruments, I think, can be spread across the stereo field a little bit more for greater separation. Like, and otherwise, I would say do absolutely nothing. The only reason I even say anything about spreading the instruments more out away from each other is just so I can hear them even better. That's all. This is just fantastic. It's always fantastic. It's always fantastic. Oh, and well, Kakashi does point out that it freaking ends, so there's that after only 1 minute 49 seconds, which is a little unfair. But, you know, leave them wanting more and all that. It is that stanky stank, isn't it? The stanky dank. Central says, not gonna lie, the biggest issue I have is writing melodies and licks to the crazy jazz rhythms chords I make, mostly because I can't play an instrument. Boom, feel that. Yeah, right? I think a lot of people are in that same boat in this community, by the way. So don't hold back. Like let that fly. I think you get a lot of like mm-hmm from the other people in the community. Be unashamed on your stank face, guys. It's your way of telling people you listen to better music than they do. Oh, now that's a good way of thinking about this. Yeah. Jazz, baby. I felt it was like a Gary moment from the Blues Bar and Weird Science. Oh, that's great. A 10-minute version of the song would be great. That'd be awesome, right? You go out, you buy the single. The A side is like 3 minutes, 58 seconds long, and the B side is like 28 minutes, 12 seconds. Great. Oh, Samaritan's sliding in with the old wisdom here. Our brains, our instruments, and our souls. I just like making weird faces. Music is a mere vessel for off-putting strangers. Tropical Mariana, where are you? Where have you been? Welcome in. Something good. Thank you so much. That was really good. I think we all needed that. And then right on the heels, of course, got Central, who says, I've reached my goal of beating Luffs. Hit neg 0.8. Quite happy with myself. Your Aunt's Vag is the name of this track. And also, Zamaris is weighing in with also buttholes are music. Something Good says neg 0.8 is crazy. Like, I think technically speaking, that is correct. I think if you look up the word crazy in the dictionary, there will actually, it'll say Luff's neg 0.8. Also, things that are beyond normal. It's just pink noise at this point. Thanks for the heads up. Here we go. Hence the name, right? What does neg 0.8 lufs even mean? So lufs is a measurement of perceived loudness. It sits on the other side of a lot of meters from decibels, and decibels have largely become kind of arbitrary nowadays. Lufs, perceived or measurement of perceived loudness. Central, the difference between your neg 0.8 and other people's neg 0.8 is that you have class. No, seriously, like you have like some intention and thought going into it. So it's not just pink noise. It's pretty nice. Roku says, I am bacon. This was putting a frog in the microwave. Agnes, welcome in. Happy Monday. Uh. Oh, after that, I'm contemplating opening the queue again. It's just that I have more meetings that I have to go to. Let's see where we are in a couple of minutes. Central, all I have to say for you on that one is thank you. That was good. Tropical Mariana, are you saying that you have something to share? You have something to share with us. Put it in the queue, and if we can get to it, we will get to it. You is corny for feedback. Do it. Put it in there. See what happens. See what happens. What's the worst that could possibly happen? All right, Smarts. Let's do this. This one's called Secret Garden. Had some relaxing time making this. So this is going to be the anti-central. I have a feeling. Squirrel rain. This is fantastic. Samaritans. Big love, homie. I love everything you. Don't change this. Just get it out there. Release it. Do. It's nice. Oh, it just starts to play again. It's like, I want to be heard again. Was meditation. Some nice meditation. Thank you for letting us hear your meditation. All right, let's keep boogieing. Eric is saying the kicks are coming in with some white noise that I can't get rid of. It's some mystery phantom noise, and the internet tells me I've got a paid plugin that I haven't paid for. It's super frustrating. I use Ableton, if you know. The last few minutes are still rough, and I'm thinking of changing it up, but would love to know thoughts. One called Legions. What are you using for your kick? Just a sample or what? Simpler. Hey, little sauce in here. Oh man. Dude, Eric, I don't have much for you on this one. I would love to say that the liberation that I'm hearing in this mix, it makes me happy. You must be feeling good listening to this. Um, your stuff when you first came into the community is great. It was always great. I can hear the permission that has been granted to allow you to play in a way that is like uniquely you, and it's really great because it's coming out in a really organic fashion and you are putting on display um decision making. You know what I'm saying? From one moment to the next, you're sharing these different what ifs, and I think it's a fantastic exploratory approach. Really good, really good use of the stereo space. Love the palette. Um, yeah, I could just hear the changes. I could just hear it. It's stuff. Thinking about modulating the bass in different sections. Yeah, absolutely. Do it. Absolutely do it. One little pro tip for you as you get all wackadoo with that. Watch your resonance as you get down in the frequency range. So on your bass, apply more resonance when you're around the mids to mid highs, but turn it down in the highs and turn it down all the way in the lows. So you don't sweep past subs and mess up your mix, or you don't sweep past resonant peaks and make ears bleed. Wackadoodle lack Scooby Doo. Yeah, yeah. Scooby Doo whoop. Mariana's on a roll today. This is good. This is good. Everybody is saying the same. Love this track, super fun. Dig a bit deeper on the mix side of things, especially in your low mids. You can get even more clarity down there. Keep things moving and modulating, but be careful not to destroy the feels of things. Keep it up, says Commander Rokusai. DJ Empirical says, put it out. Ben says, honestly, this mix is just great. I snap my neck back and forth. Yeah, this is really good. Can I explain it a bit more? Yes, absolutely I can. This is your filter. This is your filter on drugs. All right, so here's what I'm saying. And you've got your low pass filter. Looks like this, right? This is your cutoff. Here's your resonance. So as you're going down, make sure that that resonance gets down by the time it gets to your sub frequencies, because if it's still up down here, it's going to wreak havoc upon your mix, right? So just remember that as you're moving your filter cutoff, to pay close attention to what your resonance is doing. There's a couple of sweet spots for that resonance. See how this is kind of going up here and then it's come back down. Well, maybe not that high, but just kind of pay attention to where your resonance is. And then the other thing is that your next step in all of this, like after you've got your bass moving a little bit, is you might want to play with modulators or a modulator modulating that modulator, like on that cutoff. It could be kind of really simple at first as you start to dip your toes into it, but things like rate modulation, depth modulation are really easy ones to start with. But adding an unexpected twist in those kind of repetitive steps is a fun thing to play with in the funky stuff. Yeah. And it's just the very beginning of the rabbit hole, by the way, in regards to both the resonance and the modulating modulators with a modulator. Because both can lead to incredibly funky things. And Rokusai says, this is how a vocoder works, by the way, so now you know how to make formant filtering happen. Far Horizon says, sometimes I modulate the modulator to modulate the module. This is true. There is actually a course that I used to teach called Modulators. By far one of the more fun classes. Far Horizon, you're up. This one's called Dream State 9. Roku is the module. Ben. Oh yeah, Ben sat in on modulators, modulating. God, you adore. Respect the gazelle. Agnos, thank you. Big love, homie. All right. I love the withdrawn fields here, feels, and the detuning especially. The kick, I think, has a little bit too much sub frequencies in it. It feels just a little too full and a little too for like a little too compressed, I think. really what it is. The sub itself, I would do three things to this. I would bring the cutoff up a little bit because I think there's some frequencies down there that don't need to be included, and that'll improve the sound. Saturate it with some overdrive so it's not adding any kind of like rumble or grittiness or anything like that, but it will generate some more harmonic information, which will allow it to stand up in the mix a little bit better. And then bring the volume down a little bit because right now it feels like there's a little bit too much volume but not enough presence and not enough harmonic awesomeness. But it's a really nice feel, right? So it's like it's the right sound, it's really nice. It just needs to be there just a little bit more. The I saw the comment of the obfuscation is a big word. Welcome in, Iron Nip. Hello. Yeah, it is. But the level of obfuscation is perfect. And the Foley over the top is just absolutely brilliant. A little bit more stereo separation would be kind of cool. And here's what I'm thinking on that is that if you were to add a level of randomness to the stereo spread on this, it would be fantastic. And you could do that in a number of different ways. If you have just a basic tremolo, you can actually, well, you could leave the phase at 180, so it feels like an auto pan kind of thing. So there's a couple different ways you could do this. You can set up a modulator to modulate the rate of a tremolo or an auto pan. You could even just go into a free modulation rate rather than a synced one, so it's not jumping around. If you want to keep a bit more of the glitchy character, though, that you've been rolling with already, then keep it over on rate, and it would actually sound pretty good. But just something to introduce a little bit more separation in the stereo mix, I think would be kind of cool. What else do I have on here? Oh, the busyness. I love the busyness of the ending, but want less predictability. So again, with the putting something in there to make it more or less predictable, it could even just be a volume automation, right? Or a filter automation. Like it doesn't have to be super, super complex. And the listener doesn't need to know how you're arriving at your random disclosure of sound. So you can use anything really that's easy for you to set up and manipulate. But if there's a level of randomness to it, I think it would feel really, really. Other than that, I think it's just beautiful. I love the feel of it, and I love the aesthetic that you've built up, and I love the palette that you're working with. I love the restrictions that you have in play. And again, just that withdrawn feel overall. I think it's really nice. Nice. Central One says Tasty Reese, so you know the bass is good. Iron Imp saying just tuned in. Well, the tune's sounding good. Hope you're feeling better. I am. Yeah, I love the growl texture in the background. Oh yes, and of course, pre or post distortion on the points out Iron Imp. Level of obfuscation sounds like a niche metal band or a metal album. Yeah, right? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, pan flow. Yeah. Also so sad because I just found the granular pack too late. All right, so we got Tropical Mariana here. Let's do this. This one's called Dream. Nope, that's the last one. This one's called Into You. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Please don't go. So tell me, baby, please, are you gonna leave me? I'm a different type of girl, but your love seems easy. You do anything in this world just to please me. You're the king of my universe, might seem crazy. I'm so into you. I think I fell too deep. No one can compete with everything you do. So please just stay for the night. With you, everything feels right. I'm so into you. So baby, please stop. So tell me, baby, please, is it gonna be me? I've told you how many times I've had this feeling. It's a dangerous game, but it's you I'm feeling. You're the only one who gave me the mutual healing. I'm so into you. I think I fell too deep. No one can compete with everything you do. So please just stay for the night. With you, everything feels right. I'm so into you. Baby, please don't.
Really nice buildup of dramatic energy in the beginning. I think that there's some room for you though to add just a touch of foreshadowing and take a small vocal clip and transform it into like a reversal transition effect. I think it'd be really nice to move from something like that right into your voice. And I also think that the backing vocals that are there can come up just a little bit. Really, really love the mix on the main vocals, and I really love everything that you're doing with all the different vocal stems that you have to play with. So much good stuff. There's really good ad lib. There's really good like level balancing and harmonization, and just the choral arrangement. It's all very like well intended, successfully pulled off. Really good delivery. Your vocals were really captured nicely. The singing, the delivery is great. The one thing that I'm unsure of in the entire thing is space.
You're the only one who gave me the mutual healing. I'm so into you.
As it stands right now, it's kind of in the middle of a sweet spot. It's not quite transient. Like it doesn't have a strong enough transient to cut through as much as I would hope it would at some points. But you don't want it to be too punchy and dominate the mix. I totally get that, but there is some room for maybe some modulation here and changing to kind of slowly change the delivery of the bass over time. Not a lot, but enough to make people kind of take like double takes with it, right? Anything that can help you transform the listener from a passive listener to an engaged participant is what I always say is like the mark of a good producer, or a goal to keep in mind to make good productions, right? Is trying to find these little things that can kind of pull someone in just a little bit more. So you might want to consider something like that with the bass, because only like the really the only thing that stood out to me delivery wise is being a little not quite up to where everything else is. Other than that, I think it's just great. I know I don't really have a lot for you to like take away as stuff you could change technically, but I think it's because there. Like, this is a really, really, really solid song. Like, me talking about the bass delivery is super nitpicky. You know what I mean? Really solid. Really, really solid. And it looks like some people want to collab with you, and you should say yeah to some of these. Paul, take care, homie. Kakashi says it'll be the unofficial OhmLab supergroup. Do we need to give you royalties for this project, OhmLab? You know how I am. I just need, like 80%. That's all. You guys are absolutely great. This is fantastic energy in the chat around these tracks. Yeah, no, I feel you with the indie pop categorization. It's good. It's good. Yeah, it's so good. Welcome to Entertainment 720. Just wait. I'm so excited to start sharing details of the stuff that I can't share details with you about. I'll tell you one thing, without sharing any details about stuff that I really want to share details about, is that when it comes to numbers, you guys will like the numbers of the stuff that I can't talk about way better than the numbers of all of the places that you can go visit right now. Sell stuff. But I'm not actually saying anything specific about anything specific. There's one in here in the queue, and Voxy's fingers are crossed for overtime, thinking, are we going to listen to this? Oh, so like Fibonacci numbers? No, like that 80% split to me seems really unfair. What if you guys got 80%? I mean, I'm not like using any kind of real numbers here, or this is just an arbitrary conversation we're having. I'm not sharing any kind of about it. Let's listen to Voxy so I don't get myself into trouble. Tropical Mariana, thank you so much. That was really nice. Kakashi. Staff, have a good one, homie. All right, we're listening to this, and then we're going to boogie. Think about who you want to raid. It's called Windy. I don't know why, but that just really reminded me of smoked fish. It's great. Ben, is that in response to me wanting to hang out as band project? I don't care if he's in Sweden. I can go to Sweden. You've been hunting for someone to help out with that, dude. Reach out to Iggy. See what Tom says about it. I don't know why I have this feeling, but I have a feeling. Um, I have a feeling that he would make your stuff shine in a way that you'd really like. How many Swedish meatballs have you eaten in your lifetime, Kakashi? We'll do the math. We'll let you know if you're Swedish yet. He is in the Discord. His name in Twitch or on the Discord is Iggy, I think. I believe. Just see. Or maybe it is with the master. Oh, this is offline. It's sleeping right now. So let's see. Iggy? Maybe. Oh, it is Masters by Iggy. There you go. By Iggy. That's the Discord. So you're probably more Italian than Swedish, but mostly Ohioan. Probably Italian, but mostly Ohioan, with maybe just like a dash of Swedish in there. Got a red beard. Swedish meatballs do hit, right? Screws it all up. Hey, maybe it's just like some sauce that got in there, though, Okay, so who is Zap Anderson? And are we going there? Is that what's happening? Or wait, let me refresh my browser because I'm not going to say we're going there if, for instance, Liv is streaming. We haven't had a chance to read her, so let's just see what's going on here. Refresh. Raid channel. Pick channel. All right, let's use Ben's idea. What is this ago? My beard is marinara. Can I have some more breadsticks for my beard, please? The hell? Oh, there it is. Zap. Okay. Let's see what the flavor saver. My beard is marinara. Oh, there's only 2 people there. Is he just firing up a stream? Let's go see. Let's go meet Zap Anderson and see what's going on. I'm assuming that Zap Anderson is the one who's from Sweden because there's 2 S's in Anderson. I'm going to click Start Raid. I'm going to say very quickly, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate your attention and your time and your love. It was really good hearing what you guys are working on. Oh, Dub, I see you posting something as we are leaving in a raid. Love you, homie. We'll see you on the flip on Wednesday. We'll listen to this then if you're around with us. Until then, big love and peace and stay inspired. And I'll see you on the flip. Bye.